waterfall and agile method. That is another interview question. We discussed, right, yesterday? That's what we learned from yesterday morning. What is the difference between waterfall model and agile methodology? Tell me. Waterfall, this is definite interview question. Waterfall versus agile. Waterfall, step by step process. Continuous activities. Waterfall, one stage after one stage is done, then we will move to the another stage, right? So what is user story? It's a small requirement. It's a requirement. User story is nothing but it's a requirement. It's not small or whatever. It's a requirement, right? It can be small, or it can be medium, or it can be large. If it is small, we are giving 2 points per 1 point. If it is medium, we are giving 5 points. If it is large, 8 points. Clear? Okay. Okay. So when we are giving the points to the user stories, story pointing. So we are going through the requirement, we are understanding the requirement, and we are giving the points. Let me show you some user story. Okay. So I will give you the access. If you ping me, everyone ping me your email ID. Maybe you need to create a Microsoft account and ping me that Microsoft email ID. Then I will add you to this here. Then you will have access to the Azure DevOps. Then you can create the task or create the bugs and everything. Okay. So here we have some user story. Create login page. Okay. Create login page. This is user story. So how many story points are given to this user story? 6 story points. Right? When we are in the user story grooming meeting or story finding meeting, we understand the requirement and we give the points for this. Clear? Right? 6 story points. Okay. So user story. What is the format of the user story? User story title, some meaningful title, assign to, okay, assign to, then state, initially it will be new state, okay, state of the user story, area path, project name, okay, iteration path, in which sprint. One project we can have multiple sprints like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. Right now this is sprint 3, right? Understand? Sprint 3, okay. Now here you can have description, user story description, and you will have the acceptance criteria. So here you see acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria means what is accepted by the end user. So obviously, who will use this requirement? End user, right? So this requirement, it is talking about login functionality of the accessmutualfund.com. Given the user has the existing account with accessmutualfund.com, when user clicks on login button in accessmutualfund.com homepage, then login option should be displayed. Given when, then this is Gherkin language. Given is a precondition. What is the precondition here? User has some account with the accessmutualfund.com, right? When means action. What is the action user doing? Is clicking on the login button. So if you open this one, accessmutualfund.com, okay. So here we have the login button. So if he is clicking on the login button, then what should happen? Expected result, right? Login option should be displayed. Here, okay. Now explanation. Different scenarios are there. Okay, this login option screenshot I mentioned. Okay. So initially, when the application is not developed, they develop the markup screenshots. Okay, just markup screenshots they will attach here. Okay, clear? So now acceptance criteria. So here, what is accepted? Okay, what is accepted? Login via PAN number. So here we have two options, right? Login via PAN number, via email ID. What is the requirement for login via PAN number? So scenario 1, if user entered wrong PAN number, user should get error message, please enter a correct PAN number, right? What they are saying, if you enter just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you will get this error message. This is the expected. That is scenario 1. Understand? Clear? And generate OTP button should be disabled. In that scenario, generate OTP button should be in the disabled state. You understand the requirement? Scenario 2, user is entering correct PAN number, not entering any OTP. When you enter correct PAN number, you will receive if you click on the generate OTP, you will receive the OTP to your mobile. Right? Let's say generate OTP. So you receive a OTP. Okay, then you click on OK, but you are not entering this one. Then login button should be disabled. Understand? Okay, see scenario 2, login button should be disabled. When user enter correct PAN number and not entered any OTP, then login button should be disabled. Understand? That is the expected value. Okay. Third scenario, correct PAN number, but I received the PAN number, I am entering some PAN number, invalid PAN number. Now I am clicking login. See, incorrect OTP entered, 2 attempts remaining. Total 3 attempts, 1 attempt is gone. Now 2 more attempts. So first time we receive, user should receive a error message. Please enter valid OTP. 2 attempts remaining. Now one more time if you are doing, what will happen? 1 attempt remaining. Then lock it will be, right? Clear? Last scenario, correct PAN number and valid OTP. 1 second, okay? Okay. So everybody understand the requirement? Everybody understand the requirement? There are 4 scenarios. First one is, if you enter invalid PAN number, you will get a error message. Right? Okay, you will get a error message. Second scenario, valid PAN number but null OTP. Then login button should be disabled. Third scenario, valid PAN number, invalid OTP. Then you will get the error message. Fourth scenario is success scenario. 3 negative scenarios and 1 positive scenario. You understand? So this is the requirement. You understand the user story? What is user story now? No, user story means requirement. This user story is talking about login functionality. Okay. So here you can enter the comments and everything. If you have any questions, okay, here you can enter. BA will look into that. You can tag him. That's somebody created the user story. You can tag his name, and his name. Understand? Clear? So now let's say this user story is assigned for you. Now you will create the task. What task you will create here? User story analysis, test case creation, then test case execution, test case automation. These are all the tasks you created. Initially it will be new status. How do you create a task? Add new item. So tested by, okay. What is the type here? Task. Tested by, you need to select tested by. Here you will see bug, task, test case. In this case we are getting task. Let's say user story analysis. So you give the prefix here. What is the user story number 1? Okay, click OK. Now it will create a task here. See? And yeah, now you are assigning to whom? Assigning to, by default it will take whatever the user story is assigned. User story will be assigned to the developer, but you need to assign for yourself. Here your name will be there in the dropdown. Right now I did not added you. Once I added you, your name will be there. For example, I am assigning this to Anil. Okay, Anil did not join today. Okay, Anil, and he is giving the original estimate 3 hours, remaining 3 hours, completed 0 hours. What is the state of the user story? New. Initially, it will be new. So this area path and the iteration path, by default, it will take whatever it is there for the user story. Same thing. Okay, area path is the project name. Iteration path is which sprint. Right now, this user story belongs to sprint 3. So obviously, this task also belongs to sprint 3. You are creating the task under the user story. User story is the parent. Now, still it did not generate any number. Okay, now save it. Okay. If you save it, now it will generate the number for that. What is the task number? 41. Right? The task number is 41. Now close it. Now you go here. You can see user story analysis. Just now updated. No. Somewhere you will see more. 41. This one. Just now. Updated just now. It got created. Understand? Now you can open it. When you started working, you will change it to active and save it. Now let's say you worked on 2 hours. Now you will enter 1 hour. You will enter 2 hours. You completed 2 hours, remaining 1 hour, and you will save it. Now your lead or anyone, whoever tracking, they knows that you are working on this because this is in the active state. Active means you are working on it. Once you are done with that one, you will close it. Is it clear, everyone, or any questions? How to create a task in the Azure DevOps? Vijay and everyone, online people. Clear? Prasanna, Lakshmi. Any questions how to create the task? Now tell me, I want to create one more task like regression testing. How to create a task? Tell me. So where is the user story? This is the user story. I want to create a task for this user story. How to create the task? Tell me. Anyone? Just now I showed you, right? How to create the task? You need to come here, add link, new item. Add link, new item, tested by task. Then enter the task ID. Clear? Same way, how to create a bug? Add link, new item. Here select the bug and bug title. Okay, that we will learn in the future sessions. Okay, now we are discussing about Agile, right? Okay, so now story pointing meeting, we assign the story points. So for this user story, we assign 6 points. Okay, clear? Now sprint planning meeting. What is sprint planning meeting? Okay, so normally this meeting is all these meetings is scheduled, organized by the Scrum Master who runs the meetings. Scrum, right? Scrum Master. So he will ask, like basically he will check the capacity of each member in the team. Okay, all developers and testers. Because you need to know the leave plans and everything. Upfront, you need to tell them if you have any leave plans in this particular sprint. So based on that, your capacity will be calculated. Let's say the next sprint starts from, let's say for example, 31st, Monday. Okay, Monday to 2 weeks. Okay, in those 2 weeks, if you have any leaves, let's say total how many working days in 2 weeks? Tell me. 10 working days. Okay, so 10 into daily capacity is 7 hours. It's not 8 hours. Okay, or here in this example 6.5 hours we took. So daily capacity is 6.5 hours. 10 days, let's say there is a QA person, Asha. Okay, so she is not taking any leave in this sprint. So she is working 10 days. Days available 10 days. Into daily capacity 6.5 hours. So total hours 65 hours. Okay, so total 65 hours. Same way, there is a developer. Okay, there is a developer, right? So developer is available for 8 days. 2 days he is taking off. So what is the capacity? 8 into 6.5. Okay, 52. Okay, So like that, he will enter everybody's name and their days available. So normally previously they used to use the Excel, but nowadays here we can check. If you go to sprint, the sprint here, so we have the capacity here. Okay, you see here. Somewhere if you go capacity, you see task board backlog capacity. If you go to capacity, the capacity Anand 1 day off he is taking. He is developer. Okay, his daily capacity is fine. Pavan Kumar development. Priyanka testing. She is not taking any leave. So based on that, everybody's capacity will be there. So here it will show you how much work assigned to them also, because right now the tasks are not assigned to them. Okay. If I go to real time one, it will show. Splits. See here, like once it refresh, total work, total team work, how many hours? 1925 hours. Okay. And unassigned 67. Design 14. Development this one. Testing 200 hours. Okay. So it's remaining one. Okay. You can see work by assigned to. Okay. How many hours of work pending from each one? How many hours of work pending from each one? This is. Understand? So here we have the capacity tab. Who will do this? Scrum Master. You don't need to worry. Okay. But that is sprint planning. So in sprint planning, they will calculate the capacity and everything. Then they will distribute the user stories. Let's say you are committing for 20 users. See, now we know the total capacity of the team. What is the total capacity of the team here? 292 hours. Right? So now they started working user stories to you. Let's say she is a tester. Now we are discussing about one user story. They will say, hey, who will take this one? Let's say Asha said, okay, I will take this user story. Then there is some work assigned to her, 10 hours of work assigned to her for that user story. Same way, another user story also she accepted. Like that, she accepted 65 hours of work. They assigned 65 hours of work to her. Sorry, 70 hours of work to her. This is total available hours. This is work assigned. So she is overloaded. So normally, it should be less than or equal to this one. Understand? So 5 hours is okay. Okay. So now Srinivas, developer, so he is available 52 hours because he is taking the leaves 2 days. So they assign 45 hours of. So he has the buffer. Okay, understand? 7 hours back. Like that, total work assigned is 270 hours. Total team available is 292 hours. This is the team capacity. Total team capacity is 292 hours. So how much work they can assign? Total 292 hours. Not more than that. If it is more than that, it will be overloaded for someone in the team. Right? Right? Clear? So now, if you are working in 2 week sprint, okay, and you are not taking any leaves, how many hours of work they will assign you? Tell me. And your daily capacity is 7 hours. Okay, how many hours of work they can assign you? Per sprint. Sprint. 2 week sprint. 10 days. You are not taking any leaves. 70 hours.
70 hours.
70 hours. 70. Right? Understand? So you know your capacity. So they can assign only 70 hours. They are assigning 90 hours of work, then you will be overloaded. You will say, already I have enough work. Right? Same way, they will assign you some user stories to you, some user stories to other tester, right? So you need to note down basically. They knows that in my case, we have 3 weeks. They will assign max 20 story points of work. We go by story points. Here, see, they assign this user story, Every user story will have story points. Now 3 plus 2, 5 story points, 5 plus 3, 8, right? Then they assign some more here. 8 plus, there are some user stories. Okay, so they cannot go beyond 20. Okay, understand? 20 user story points. Understand? In a sprint. Because other than sprint, we have a lot of other work. We get the bugs, we do the regression testing. For that also, we need to have the capacity, hours, right? Okay, but sprint work is separate and other work is separate. Understand? But overall, it cannot go beyond 70 hours in 2 weeks. Understand? So they can assign only 30 hours of sprint work. Remaining, they can use it for other work. Understand? You understand the sprint planning? They will distribute the work. They will discuss about each user story. They will choose the developer and tester for that user story. So now if you go to any user story, let's say if you go to any user story, let me items. They will select the member and test member. So right now in my project I don't have. I will show you in the real time here. Let me take you some user story. 261426 I will take, okay? 261426, right? We go to the user story, it's assigned to this guy. He is the developer, right? So now test member. Okay, test member is me. They assign to me. Don't change this. Until I am taking leave, I am not available, then they can reassign to other tester. Okay. But initially I committed. I said I don't have leave plans, but I can have. They will ask about planned leaves, but suddenly something can happen. We can take unplanned leaves, right? Right. But that won't count. Okay. But planned leaves will count. Understand? So now dev member, test member will be there for each user story. Clear? Okay. So now here same thing we are doing. Okay, we are selecting developer, we are selecting tester for each user story, we are assigning to the work. So now we know everybody's capacity. Normal this will be 3 to 4 hours of meeting. Everybody will be there. Okay. So now this is total team capacity. Then there is another word, technical term called velocity. What is velocity? Velocity means how many story points of work the team can deliver. Or average, let's say you are in sprint 4, already you are done with 3 sprints. Okay? Already you are done with 3 sprints. So in 3 sprints, let's say one sprint you deliver, normally we are delivering 100 points or 120 points like that. It's a big team. Okay. Okay, let's say now I. So now you will calculate everything 100 plus 120, 220 plus 90. How much? 310? 310 divided by 3. Okay, how much it will come? 103 something like that. Right? 103 something like that. So on average, the team velocity is 103 story points, not hours. 103 story points. Okay, these are story points. This many story points of work we are team is delivering in each sprint. Average. So 103 story point means how many hours of work? Into 3. Okay, 3 hours. One story point is 3 hours in your company. So it will come. So 103 into 3 hours. 309. Okay, 309 hours of work. 9 hours of work. Got it? Okay, that much work they can assign. So capacity is calculated in the form of hours. Velocity is calculated in the form of story points. Clear? Clear about sprint planning meeting or any questions? Is it clear, this one, everyone? Now we are done with story finding meeting. We are done with sprint planning also. This is very, very important, sprint planning. But nowadays, what is happening when we are working from India? So uh, we are not getting involved into this particular meeting directly. This meeting will happen night 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the on-site. So offshore team is not part of this. Maybe mostly team lead or manager will be sometimes attending this meeting. Okay, when you up morning, the day one of the sprint, directly you see some user stories is SNT. They won't ask. Okay, they won't. Okay, directly you will see some user stories is SNT. Directly you need to work on that. Understand? They knows that in that particular module you are working, you have knowledge. Then they won't ask. Directly they will assign you. Understand? Then you can create the task and you can give the estimations there. Got it? Then daily stand-up meeting. This meeting, when this meeting will happen? When the sprint starts or before the sprint starts? Before the sprint starts. Before the sprint starts, they will assign the work. But nowadays, what they are doing? Day one, they are assigning the work. Otherwise, you will lose one day in the sprint, right? You should know what you are working on, right? Now, daily, let's say sprint started. You know that there are some user stories assigned to you, 3 or 4 user stories assigned to you. Now, what you will do? Okay, every day you need to attend the daily stand-up meeting. This meeting will happen at same time and same location. If you are in the office, okay, physically, you will meet at some room or meeting room or somebody's desk. That's where this meeting will happen. Who will run this meeting? Scrum Master. He will get the status of everyone. He will note down. Understand? So, what do you cover in this meeting? What did you work on yesterday? What you are going to work on today? Are there any blockers, any dependencies? Okay, these are the 3 things you will answer. Everyone in the team, developers, business, not business analyst, developers, testers. Understand? So, daily stand-up meeting. What did you work on yesterday? Okay, what you are going to work today? Are there any dependencies? You need to mention these 3 things. Clear? So this will happen same day, same time. So for me, every day 9:40. Where is my Outlook? So, let's see here. You see here? Every day 9:40 to 10. But they will set 10, it will go 10:50. Every day, whole year, you will see. Other than leaves. Understand? Same way, 1 o'clock I have this other module stand-up call. Every day 1 to 1:25. Every day. Same way 12 o'clock I have other module. I am working on the 2 different modules. 12 to 12:15. This team will attend. DM team. This one VLM team will attend. This one everyone others will attend. Generic one. Understand? Daily I have 3 stand-ups and 1 bug triage. In this call, client will join. We will discuss about bugs. Understand? You understand bug triage meeting? Clients will join and we also will join. Tester also will join. Okay? We will discuss about bugs. Understand the daily stand-up meeting? What is daily stand-up? Every day at the beginning of the day, you need to tell what you worked on yesterday. So that's why I note it down because I forget sometimes, right? So every day I write down here. You see my notepad. Joined August 24th in this project. From day one, I have studied. Every day I note down here. Okay, every day I note down what I am working. Always this will be open. When I am joining that meeting, I will tell, okay, yesterday I fixed on this one. I joined this course. I'm going through the KT videos. This is the first week. Understand? Now, Monday status when I will give Monday. 28th. Okay, DOD call I attended, looking into some bug, regression testing I did. This one I will give the status on Monday. Understand? Because today and tomorrow holiday, right? Clear? Okay. This daily stand-up call. After that, when this meeting happens, before the sprint or after the sprint or in sprint? This one, this meeting, daily stand-up meeting. When you are in the sprint, in sprint, right? In sprint, when you are in the sprint, every day this meeting happens, right? Then sprint review meeting. What is sprint review meeting? After sprint, if you want to give the demo, right? So first we will make sure all the items are closed. All the items means user stories, task, everything are closed. And we will give the demo to the customer. So customer also will join in that call. So for me, second we are having the demo. So I need to prepare for the demo. I need to give the demo for my user stories. I worked on 2 user stories. That is for sprint 58. For 58, I worked on 2 user stories. I need to give the demo on those 2 user stories. Same way, other testers will give the demo on their user stories. For that, we prepare the PPT. Okay? Let me show you. So 59. 59 demo or 58? 59 demo we are giving, okay? We are in 60 now. 59 demo we are giving. So I worked on 2 user stories in the sprint. So I added my slides. See, I worked on this user story 251326. Okay, and I prepared this slide. I just directly copy pasted the test case titles. But I will show them. Okay, how it is working. Okay, some cleanup tool. Same way, promotion. This one also. My user story. 2 user stories I am going. No, this one will be half 1 hour meeting demo. So first we will mention. See, everybody's user stories are here. First, we will mention what are all the user stories we are giving them. Everybody's name. This is not updated yet, to be updated. Okay. So here initially will be there how many story points we committed, how much we delivered. So committed, okay, sprint duration 3 weeks, committed work bundle story points, best effort, sprint 5 delivered, how many story points we delivered. Okay. So everything will be, it's not updated yet, will be updated last day of the sprint. Who will do that? The Scrum Master. And what are the user stories? We are giving the demo and in which order? My demo can be last. My user stories will be moved here, last. It will be in the order demo 1, demo 2, demo 3, demo 4, 5, 6. Understand? Clear? So you need to enter, you need to create a PPT. Okay? Just format will be there, you just need to enter. Okay? Clear? That's what will happen in the sprint review meeting. When that happens, sprint is done. Now we are in sprint 60. We are giving the demo for the sprint 59. Almost we are done with the sprint 60. 2 weeks done. Right? Got it? Last week one we are giving. Got it? Now retrospective. What is sprint retrospective? Same thing. After for the previous sprint, we will have the retrospective meeting. Now we need to answer 3 things. What went well, what went wrong in the last sprint, where we need to improve. Question, why we need to have why we need to have the retrospective meeting? For the to correct the mistakes, anything. Okay, for the future sprints. Understand? Future sprints. Clear? Very good. These are all the Agile ceremonies. Okay? These are all the different Agile ceremonies. Right? Now, tell me for online people. Vijayashree and Prasanna, can you tell me what are all the Agile ceremonies? What are the Agile ceremonies? What is the first one?
Story point meeting.
Yeah. Story point. Okay. Then
The sprint planning meeting.
sprint planning meeting. Okay.
Daily stand-up meeting.
Then
Sprint review meeting.
sprint review meeting. Then sprint retro. Right? Retrospect. So here story pointing meeting, or some people will say user story grooming meeting. This is another terminology. User story grooming is nothing but you will visit the user story. Visit means you will open the user story and you will discuss about that. Understand? That is user story grooming meeting. Here? Is it clear, guys? Everyone?
Yes.
It should happen in the same order. Sprint retro cannot happen at the beginning of the sprint, right? It should go in the same order. Right? So in interview point of view, they will ask the question, okay, can you tell me what are all the ceremonies you followed in your previous sprint, previous project? Please, Vijay. Okay, can you tell me what are all the sales ceremonies you followed in the last project? This is your answer. Story binding meeting or user story grooming meeting, sprint planning, daily standard, sprint review, sprint retrospect. Then they will ask, can you explain what is sprint retrospect? Or can you explain what is sprint planning? Separate questions they will have. Then they can ask, what is the difference between capacity and velocity? Tell me. Total team capacity. Right? In hours. What is velocity?
Story points.
How many story points the team can deliver on average? Right? That is velocity. So capacity is calculated in the hours. Okay? Velocity will be in the story points. Right? Clear? These are all the questions we can expect in the Agile. Okay? So tell me, what are all the different rules in Agile methodology? Rules means people, different people. Tell me. Development team. I am saying development. Huh?
Testing team.
Everybody included in the dev team. I mentioned developer. Dev team means developers plus testers. Okay. Then no roles. I'm asking about. BA will be there obviously. He is included in the dev team input team. Stakeholders. Product owner. Product owner. He is the main person. Then Scrum Master. He is the main person. He runs everything. If there are any blockers also, he will coordinate the people. So now, if you look at here, in this diagram, somewhere we will have. Yesterday I explained, right? Iteration 1, iteration 2, everything, right? Yeah. Now let me zoom it. You see here, this is a product backlog items. Okay, who is the owner for this product owner? Okay, so let's say there are some 15 user stories. These are 15 user stories. The product backlog. So he prioritize. He interact with the stakeholders, product owner. He set the priorities for this one. Which user story has to go first? Current sprint. Okay. Then sprint planning meeting will happen. Right? Before that, story finding meeting will happen, right? So in sprint planning, we will decide these user stories will fit in this particular sprint or not. Let's say we have the capacity of 50 story points for 2 weeks sprint. product owner is asking like that, then there are some user stories. We will pick up 50 story bytes of work, not more than that, right? Otherwise, team will be overloaded. We won't do the work, right? We won't complete the work, right? Right? So, in sprint planning meeting, next meeting is sprint planning meeting. Okay? Forecast of the backlog, okay, and planning the work, task, we create tasks and everything. Understand? In the sprint planning meeting. Now, sprint starts. Okay, now development team is there, that include everyone, developers, testers, everyone. Now we take, this is sprint backlog. We committed for these user stories. We committed, hey, we will deliver these 20 user stories in this sprint. Now we are taking one by one user story, or this every developer is assigned to that. Developers are developing that in this sprint. Then we will have the sprint review, right? It's going to the basically production, working version of the software. Then we are having the sprint review and retrospective meetings. Understand? Sprint grooming, story pointing, right? Sprint planning. Then here daily stand up, daily scrum they mention. Everybody will attend daily stand. And in between product backlog refinement. What is product backlog refinement? Again, we will visit the user stories from the product backlog for the future sprints. We have 1 hour or 2 hours meeting. We will go through the this remaining backlog items. We will assign the points. Okay, then those will come into the future sprint. That is product backlog refinement meeting. You understand all the meetings and everything, this diagram? Like that, first sprint is done. Again, we will pick up something, will come as a sprint backlog. Again, we will develop, we'll go to the production. Now again, third sprint, fourth sprint. Like that, everything should be done. Then project is over. Understand? Like that we do. To understand the roles, responsibilities. Product owner, what the product owner will do? Okay, he is the person, main person who owns the requirements. He coordinates with the stakeholders. He set the priorities. Okay, interview point of view, they will ask, how do you know this user story has to go in this sprint? Who will decide? Product owner. Okay, product owner, and the team also will decide it will fit or not. Okay, it will fit or not, right? Based on the priority. Okay, based on the priority. Okay, he says, hey, this user story is priority one, take the, I want this to be developed in this particular sprint. He will ask. Okay, like that he will choose some user stories. Those user stories will be developed in this sprint. Understand? You understand the diagram? Right? No questions from this, right? Yeah. Product backlog. What is product backlog? PBI. Product backlog item, nothing but user stories. Refinement means again we will go through the user stories and we discuss the requirement, we give the points for those. That is nothing but product backlog refinement meeting. Understand? Okay. Scrum process. Right now, Agile is a methodology, and within the Agile, we are using the Scrum model. Sprint 1, Sprint 2, Scrum model, right? So, what is the Scrum process? So, we take some user stories from the product backlog. Okay, then it will become sprint backlog. We have 30 days. Here they are having, in this example, they are having 30 days sprint. Okay, so 30 days sprint. They are developing all this. It is going to the working version of the software production. Like that, sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, until everything is done, it will happen. That is the process. Okay. What is user story? What is product backlog? Okay, this is all the theory part. First you go through this. If you don't understand, again we will discuss. Okay. Interview point of view, I created all these questions. What is product backlog? What is a product backlog? A product backlog is a prioritized list of work for the development team that is derived from the roadmap and its requirements. The most important items are shown at the top of the product backlog. So the team knows what to deliver first. So if you have 100 user stories, most important, highest priority one will be at the top of the product backlog. Then team knows that they are the priority, they will pick up those. Understand? It's nothing but list of user stories. Understand? List of user stories. List of requirements. Right? Then what is a spike? This is a very typical question. Normally they won't ask. what is spike in Agile? Normally, for some user story, we will assign the points. How they will ask the question, how do you assign the points? Based on the complexity of the requirement, based on how many changes we are going to do, we assign the points, right? So if it is just a background color change, we assign 1 point. If it is a lot of changes, development, some new form or new page, it will be medium. If it is a small page or big change, 8 story points we will assign, right? So, but some requirement is not clear. There is some dependency, we don't understand how much time it will take. Okay, in that case, we will create a spike user story. Okay, spike user story in Agile user story that needs more information. So the team can estimate how long the story will take to complete. Right now, we don't know how long the story will take to complete. For that kind of user story, we will call it Agile spike user story. Understand? Agile teams typically have a set amount of time outlined for spikes, which is why spike stories are often referred as the time-wasted investigations. Okay, we need to find out. We need to investigate and find out how long it will take, that user story. That is a spike user story. Okay. This you go through. Okay, I will explain. Now remaining everything is like theory, but Agile tester mindset. Compared to, let's say there are two testers here. One is working on the waterfall model. One guy is working on the Agile model. So both will have two different mindsets, right? Understand? Agile testers, okay. So Agile testing mindset could be summed up in 12 principles: quality assistance over quality assurance, continuous testing over testing the end. Testing the end in which model we do? Waterfall model. Here, continuous testing, right? It's a team responsibility for the quality. Now, it's not only tester, the developer, everybody are responsibility in the Agile for the quality. See, if some user story have so many defects, it's not only tester's fault. Okay, that will affect the developer also. So that's the reason everybody are okay, very careful. Team responsibility for the quality over tester responsibility. That is in waterfall model. Whole team approach over testing department and independent testing. So here, developer also keep in touch with you. He will ask how the user story, any defects are there. Did you find any defects? All the test cases are passed and everything. Lot of communication will happen in the Agile. Understand? Here, regression testing. You don't know what is regression testing, right? Regression testing means testing the existing functionality. Let's say you are in, right now we are in sprint 60. That means we are done with sprint 59. We have hundreds of test cases. But every sprint, we need to run all the test cases. Why we need to run? Anyone tell me? In sprint, we created test cases. Let's say we have 50 test cases in current sprint. But we have 1000 test cases from all the old sprints. We need to first test these 50 test cases, execute, then all the other test cases. Why we need to test the existing test cases? Anyone? Why we need to execute the existing test cases? Because developers are making the code changes, right? It can affect the existing functionality. We need to make sure existing functionality is working fine. It did not break. So how do you know? You need to test it. Testing means nothing but executing the test cases. So that is called regression testing. Regression testing means retesting the existing functionality. So here in Agile, in waterfall, what we do? We do manual testing. Okay, Agile, we automate as much as possible. At least 70 to 80% of the test cases we will automate. If you don't automate, if you want to run hundreds of test cases, this 2 weeks is not enough. Understand? So this 2 weeks time is not enough. So that's the reason you need to automate the test cases. That's why we have all the regression test cases automated, mostly 70%. So that will be run in the pipeline. Okay, then pipeline will run daily, night time. Then now we just open that report and check it. Is it passing or failing? Understand? Okay. Then technical and API testing over just GUI testing. So there we do just user interface testing. But here we do the API testing also. middle tier testing. First, before the front end is developed, first we do the API testing, middle tier. Okay, all the web services are working fine. How do you test API testing? How do you do that? Postman. If it is manual, we will use the Postman. That we are going to learn in couple of sessions. After this functional testing is over, we will move to the API testing. So in this training, we are covering this front end